This is 7 National News, and in your top story, the delegates who assessed the UAE's bid to host Expo 2020 this week gained a very positive impression on their visit. According to their Secretary General, Vicente Loscertales was speaking as the team from the International Exhibitions Bureau, which supervises World Expos, completed its 4-day inquiry mission to determine the feasibility of the bid. According to His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, chairman of the Higher Committee for hosting the 2020 World Expo, the delegates had witnessed Dubai's ability to welcome the world in 2020, adding that if successful, the bid will attract opportunities across the region and around the world. A recent study by Oxford Economics analyzing the economic impact of Dubai Expo 2020 concluded that the total economic output across the Dubai economy would amount to about 141.9 billion dirhams and create over 277,000 jobs between 2013 and 2021. Dubai is one of the 5 candidate cities bidding to host Expo 2020. BIE inspectors have conducted inquiry missions in 2 of the others, in Turkey and Thailand, and are due to visit Brazil and Russia soon. The UAE will join the international community in marking the World Civil Defense Day, which is being held this year under the motto of Civil Protection and Preparation of Civil Societies for Disaster Risk Prevention. Reported in Emirates news agency WAM, the higher organizing committee has completed preparations to celebrate the event. A panel discussion will be held at Yas Hotel in Abu Dhabi, during which civil defense experts and specialists will review the latest trends in the industry. In a message on the occasion, an International Civil Defense Organization official stated that this year's celebration is to mark the important and central role played by civil society organizations in disasters and crises, as well as community preparedness to respond to them. The official added that the various civil organizations should work on solidarity as well as community preparedness and secure a better future. New laws for private passenger buses came into effect on Friday, with the speed limit fixed at 100 kilometers per hour. The new law, plus an additional directive by the Ministry of Interior, which states that middle seats of buses are to be removed, aims to improve the safety of passengers. The rules are binding for buses with a capacity of 22 passengers. Brigadier Khaith Al-Zaabi, coordinator of traffic at the Ministry of Interior, added in a report in a local daily that any vehicles that do not meet the set standards will not be renewed. The move was implemented in conjunction with the Emirates Authority for Standardization. The law was announced earlier in January 2013. However, fleet owners were given until March 2013 to get the buses installed with the speed limiters. And the Roads and Transport Authority, in association with Dubai Police, is stepping up its campaign to force owners of quad bikes to register them. Annual registration and inspection of quad bikes is already mandatory, and not abiding by the regulations is a punishable offence by law, according to the RTA. According to a report in a local daily, authorities are, however, willing to give more time to quad bikers to fall in line. There have been 10 fatalities and more than 125 quad bike accidents in Dubai over the last 4 years, and the RTA's campaign to register the bikes is part of its efforts to regulate their use and also to reduce the risk factor. In order to encourage teenagers to register their quad bikes, the RTA reduced the registration and testing fees, which now cost a total of 260 dirhams rather. The RTA also has made insurance voluntary rather than mandatory. Once registered, each quad bike will receive a beige color number plate, and the RTA will also be putting up a few number plates online for auction. The awareness programs are currently being conducted in desert areas preferred by quad bike enthusiasts, in areas such as Murdif, Al-Warkha, as well as Al-Khawanij. The programs are also being conducted at a few government and private schools. A new waste management draft law will be submitted by year-end with new provisions to reduce the reported 5 million tons of waste which the UAE produces annually. Part of the plan is a standardized recycling initiative that, if adopted, will be applicable to every household by 2014, aiming to vastly reduce the waste the country produces annually. Dr. Rashid Ahmed bin Fahd, the UAE Minister of Environment and Water, explained that the long-term plan was to create a 5-year shift into a more sustainable economy. Dr. Fahd added that the law will be submitted to the Federal National Council of the UAE by the end of the year. According to the GPCA, the GCC alone produces 82 million tons of waste annually, with the UAE contributing to 5 million of that number. Dr. Abdul Wahab Al Sadoun, Secretary General of the GPCA, stated that only 5% of the 5 million tons is actually recycled, while the rest of the waste is finding its way into the landfill. In most developed countries, up to 70% of that waste makes it into a recycling center. Good news for farmers in the UAE. More than 23 farms in the Emirates have received certification for organic farming from the Ministry of Environment and Water. According to a statement in a local daily, the official recognition is part of the ministry's efforts to regulate the marketing of naturally grown goods and also to promote organic farming as part of its strategy to enhance food production through safe methods that completely avoid the use of chemicals. The ministry has adopted a registered trademark to label organic inputs and products that meet the requirements in a related law. All organic produce will have the ministry's trademark branding displayed on the exterior packaging of all goods. Residents in Dubai celebrated an entertainment-filled event with some very special members of the community. Face painting, bouncing castles, obstacle courses, dancing and drumming are just some of the activities laid out for children and their families at Zabil Park earlier today. This is the 6th year the event Reaching You Family Fun Day has provided a platform that brought together special needs children and their families together with the rest of the community. According to the event's co-founder Nick Watson, the event is a great opportunity to raise awareness and further help in the integration of children with special needs into mainstream society.
I have a little boy, Rio. He turns 10 in May. He goes to a special needs centre. And one thing that we learned right back at the beginning was we don't really see children with special needs within the community. We don't really see kids in wheelchairs. So the purpose of today is literally that, is to kind of invite everyone down and in the same environment obviously see children with special needs. And hopefully kids might go away and ask some simple questions to mum and dad and say, look, I saw a little boy in a wheelchair today, what is all that about? And to be honest, that is all we are trying to do in this day, just so obviously everyone becomes a part of this amazing community here in Dubai. And this is just one little segment that we're just trying to do something special.
And finally, looking to other news now, a wide range of photographs which were captured in Brazil by photographer David Allen Harvey is currently on display at Gulf Photo Plus Gallery in Al Qusa's Al Circal Avenue. Opening on Thursday night, the event showcased Brazilian samba dances as well as traditional South American cuisine. Visiting the UAE for the first time, Harvey was pleased to introduce a set of pictures from his recent award-winning limited edition book titled Based on a True Story. The internationally acclaimed Magnum photographer spent 5 to 6 years living and working in Rio de Janeiro and was determined to shoot images which depicted the vibrancy and true cultural energy of the dynamic city. With over 25 years in the industry, Harvey stated that his main focus is to tell stories through his images, from the rich to the poor to the humble and the everyday. The exhibition is scheduled to run until the 13th of April.
Well, I'm always a foreigner in most of the places where I work, so I try to have a lot of integrity. I try to do my homework, basic homework, study the demographic data, and I try to meet people and often live with people, often live with families, sleep on floors or whatever, wherever they may happen to be, to get their essence. So I don't know if I get the truth. I mean, the truth is widely interpreted. But let's put it this way, I try to tell their story, not my story. To do something on the Emirates would take me, well, it would take me years. This work that I do in Latin America is 25 years or 30 years worth of work. So I get very, very involved. I'm going to try to do some photography in Dubai, but I would not pretend that whatever I do in just 1 month can say too much. I'll just be learning I'll be meeting people, and I'll be trying to get educated.
David Allen Harvey is somebody I've looked up to, growing up as a photographer, and his work is legendary. He's been working with Magnum and doing a lot of features for National Geographic, so that's work that I've always looked up to. And when I went to Paris Photo, we met with Magnum, and we spoke to them about the possibility of David coming down, and he was very happy to, and so that worked out great. I'm really honored to have someone of his stature in Dubai.
We've got a wonderful opening full of people. It'll be open until April 13th, so there's plenty of time for anyone that didn't make it out tonight to check out the work. The exhibition is a culmination of what he's represented in many of his recent projects. So we have work from his book called Based on a True Story, which captures the essence and the passion and the really like the life and the soul of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, which is why we have a samba dancer tonight who's done a wonderful performance. Also Brazilian catering, just to get the flavor in the air.
Meanwhile, taking place over the weekend was Photo Friday, an educational day which was packed with photography seminars, discussions as well as live demos. Carried out also by Gulf Photo Plus, the event presented 13 of the world's finest photographers, including Joe McNally and David Hobby.
We're both very happy to be here and other places doing exactly that and trying to coach young photographers as they make the move into this industry.
I'm really more concerned with finding something that I want to accomplish with a picture and then working backwards from that thing and then figuring out what I need to do to accomplish that. So the camera is really not an end to itself. It's sort of an instrument, but the idea is to make pictures that achieve a certain goal, and whatever that goal may be is up to you. But if you start with the goal first, it really starts to fill in the blanks for you automatically. It's a neat way to figure out what it is that you really want to shoot.